Hey there. In this video, please allow me to introduce and take you on a tour of my brand new website. You can find it at www.martinfaulks.co.uk, and this is the home page. As you can see, it's beautifully illustrated with the Faulks coat of arms here. That's a falcon, and upon his chest is a shield which bears the marks of the four elements. Written behind him, embossed in the darkness, is a beautiful word that shines forth. Now, depending on the size of your screen, you may like to start scrolling down, and this will bring you to a section of text which introduces both myself and the website. As you can see, there's a photo of me on the left. It actually looks like I'm floating in air here, and you can see that I'm wearing a pendant in the shape of a lotus, which we will talk about a bit more later on, and a lotus flower tattoo on my chest. On the right, you can see my signature. Now, this is my author's signature. It's very important to learn to sign books, if you're an author, with a different signature than the one you use on checkbooks or on official documents. If we carry on down, we can see on the left there's the latest from the Hermetic Messenger newsletter. This is a free newsletter that sends you information about historical Hermeticism in an easy to read and understand way. It's funded by Patreon backers, and I'm very thankful for their investment in this because it's something I really think is of great value, and it's something I feel is an honour to do. On the right, you can see an article from the archives of my blog. This is one when I performed a fire walk, you can see here, for charity. If we carry on further, there's a countdown to the Hermetic Meditation group in Norwich. This is a group that practices traditional Western meditation, and then afterwards has a big feast from the food which is brought by those who attend. This is actually something that used to happen in the original Hermetic groups, and it's a practice that we're continuing now in the present day. People have come from all over the world to attend these sessions, so if you are available, please come to Norwich and join us. And you can always see the date of the next group so by just having a look on the website here. As we continue on here, you can see a selection of books which is for sale in the online shop. We'll go into this in more depth in the near future. Further on, you'll see this at the bottom of every page. The link to the social media sites is here. And you'll also find the Patreon. This is a site that helps people support YouTube channels and other creative projects. It's well worth visiting, even if you'd just like to see some of the things which I'm planning in the future. But if you do value the work that I'm undertaking, please do consider going to Patreon and offering some support. On the right here, you can see the latest video that's on my YouTube channel, which ironically will be this one very soon. Here's a link for anyone who hasn't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please click and become one. It's wonderful to see your support. Underneath this, you can put your email in here and you can sign up for that free newsletter that I mentioned earlier on. As we get to the bottom, you can see this very colourful logo. This is Master Website Designers. I can't recommend this company too highly. They are extremely dedicated to what they do and really connect with what you're wanting to create. In addition to this, they have great support services. So anything that you need at any point, even if it's just something you don't understand, they're there to help you. So if you're looking for a website, click this ball and you can find the best people and trustworthy people to help you with it. So let's go back to the top and explore some of the other pages. So this is a very wonderful section here. This is the Hermetic section. And there are a few hidden gems here. We can go to the first page, which is all about Hermeticism. And it's my own description of the history of this wonderful tradition, illustrated by the first tarot card from Franz Barden's 3 books of universal spiritual attainment. Please notice the lotus flower here, and you'll see the theme developing. Underneath you can see a wonderful colorized picture of Franz Barden, which has been produced by Ian Bailey, who is the owner of Master Web Designers. And this is how far that company goes to make sure everything looks just right and expresses what you're trying to express. So let's go to the next page. What is meditation? So this is a description of meditation from a Hermetic point of view, going through the different stages of consciousness you can achieve, using the elements as a key to understanding them. And you can see there's me sitting meditating in the Sahara Desert. This isn't Photoshop, I was genuinely there. You can actually see the video of this taking place on the YouTube channel. So we're going through the states of consciousness. Earth, you can see me very much manifesting a earth state of mind there. Water, air and fire. That's actually me sitting next to a lava flow. This is in Hawaii. So I think this very much represents a fire place to be. And finally, Akasha. This is illustrated here by Franz Barden himself, who's dressed as a fakir here from one of his stage shows. And there's a video explaining everything in a more detailed way. Now, the next page is all about the Seshen school. You've heard a few times my mentioning of the lotus flower, and you can see the beautiful golden lotus here with a silver lotus as a reflection. Here you can see the colours of the elements with the Akasha in the centre. The Seshen school of Hermetic meditation is the school that I run myself. It's a small group which consists of very dedicated students. And together we are walking the path laid forth by Franz Barden's works. So, as you read down the page, you'll see our goals, and you'll see that the word Seshen actually means lotus flower in ancient Egyptian. The Seshen group is a a wonderful set of spiritual allies, and you can see that the logo was designed by one of the students of the school here. And here's the lotus from Barden's tarot card. And this section outlines the fees. It's £20 a month, and in order to join, there are certain tests you need to pass. And you can also see that there's certain required reading. This is to make sure that everyone's focused and working to the same schedule. The Becoming the Lotus book is the first book in the 3, and this will teach you how to sit for your meditation practice. Initiation into Hermetics, this will show you the whole course of spiritual instruction laid before you in a very plain, easy to understand language. And then the Emerald Tablet, which explains what's happening. So we've got the how, this is the what and the why, explaining the mechanism behind development and spiritual evolution. And here's the link to the Facebook group. The whole school operates through Facebook groups, one group for each grade within the school, which correspond to the steps in Franz Barden's Initiation into Hermetics. We actually meet in person once a year, and this is in a retreat here in England, but we hope to move this to twice a year at some point in the future. And now I'm going to let you know about a hidden gem. If we click on this, a letter to the true seeker. In most paths, the goal is clear. If you asked what you're aiming for, most traditions will have a clear description of what the final destination looks like, what it feels like, what transforms within the practitioner in order to get there. Hermeticism used to be this way, but in modern times, people really haven't focused on adepthood, but more on individual abilities. So, if we scroll down here, you can see an introduction to a text, and this is a text I've written to describe what is adepthood, where did that word come from, and what qualities would we expect to see an adept have. What needs to transform in you for you to become a Hermetic adept? So we can click here, and the text is being updated and improved all the time, because I hope to answer any common questions and to really make this description precise. It's very important that we know where we're heading to so that we can stay on course and actually get there. So the next section is more about me. So there you can see, once again, I'm meditating and just floating there. This page tells you all about my interests and my undertakings in life. What I have done to improve myself is make sure that I always seek out those who have perfected the very next step in my development, a specialist in the area. And for this reason, you can see that I've been drawn to different people of excellence from different traditions. The next page is on my professional life, which describes everything I've done for a living up till now. And if you're not aware of what I do for a living, I work for a company called Lewis Masonic, which is the world's largest Masonic publisher. I'm the general manager there, and this describes everything about the company, so you can click through and have a look at some of the books that we publish. And if you're very interested, you can download my CV and find out everything about my professional life. And now this is the training page. So I mentioned earlier on, when we were on the page about my interests, I've found one of the greatest ways for me to improve is to be with people who are better at what I'm wanting to do. I find that just being near people who have mastered a certain ability teaches me. It's as if there are subconscious lessons taught, as if maybe the skill rubs off in some way, and I'm picking up on small aspects of the skill. Maybe there are higher forces at work here. Here you can see I'm under a waterfall, and this is part of the training I've undertaken in the Orient. There's a description of all my training, and you can see me sitting at various sacred places, whether it be in England or in Greece here. This is the site of an Asclepion, a healing temple, and I'm sitting in the remains of an Arbaton, a place where people would meditate and sleep. And here's me with the Yamabushi monks. So the next section we can see is called Resources, and I've just clicked on books here, and you can see all the books that I've written that are still in print. So if you're very observant, you'll see there are certain books that aren't listed here. They're ones that have gone out of print and that the publisher no longer produces new copies of. This means you can get them as e-books perhaps, or you can get them second hand. So if we go through to our shop here, you can see that these are all for sale. So there's my Becoming the Ninja book. This is the story of my training in ninjutsu in Japan. This here is a notebook for those who are undertaking the Franz Barden Hermetic Path. So this is the black soul mirror, and you can see that later on we'll find a white soul mirror as well. Here's my book called Butterfly Tai Chi. It's a beautiful set of Tai Chi exercises which were inspired by my watching a butterfly warming its wings in the sun. We go further down and you can see Enlightened Living. I believe that our path of self-development should be in every moment. Exercises are extremely important, but our Hermetic exercises and our meditation practices are to train us to apply that excellence in life, and that's what this book's about. Here you can see Initiation into Hermetics by Franz Barden. This is most certainly the greatest book on the path of universal spiritual attainment ever written. So no matter what tradition you come from, by reading this book you'll understand the mechanisms behind what you're doing, and this book will act as a lamp in the darkness and confusion of all the different opinions and traditions. Here you can see a joke book that I wrote. I felt that working for a Masonic publisher, I wanted to do something to harness the charitable intentions of the Freemasons in order to help others. And this was the result of that. So every time I heard a joke told, which had a Masonic theme, I put that down. And all the profits from this book go to helping those who are in need. Then we see the Emerald Tablet book. The Emerald Tablet is a description of the underlying process behind spiritual development. So if you ask most people, what is it that's changing? Why am I doing this? You'll find that a surprising number of spiritual practitioners and authorities are dumbfounded. And that's quite a reasonable question if you really get down to it. Any other circumstance whereby we're being taught something, there's clear criteria for success, and we'd see understanding of the mechanism behind that success as a fundamental qualification for being a teacher, and indeed a foundation for being a student. So if watching this video you find yourself unable to say what it is that changes in a practitioner, what it is that makes someone who starts a path and transform or change into where they should be finishing, then this book is for you. It will show you why and what needs to be done for someone to become a Buddha, a saint, or an adept. And most of all, it will describe in very vivid and detailed language the mechanism behind this. Now, this is my book, The Path of the Ninja. This is a more popular book on the ninja training that I undertook, which includes my first visit to the Yamabushi monks in Japan. This book is the Zen Diet, which was written with my ex-wife, and this describes a process of slowly transforming your diet to the optimum through subtle but permanent changes. Now, you saw that I was wearing a Sesshin layman. This is a necklace, a pendant, which has the symbol of the lotus, and you can see that there's the Hebrew letter Shin in there. So this is a symbol of dedication to self-development, and you can see from the number of the petals and from the symbolism that it has deeper meaning for those with an understanding of this path. There are two Sesshin laymans available. One is the one that you see before you, which is silver coloured, and this is available for anyone who would wish to wear it, anyone who connects with what I'm doing. There is, however, a golden Sesshin layman, which is just for personal students who are members of the school. You can see here a DVD of Evil Never Dies. This is a movie I produced, which is based here in Norfolk, and you can see many well-known faces in this. And now we come to Becoming the Lotus. This is a lovely little booklet which gives you a systematic course of flexibility training that leads to the safe and comfortable adoption of the lotus posture. Now you can see that you can purchase all 3 of the books required for the score as a set here, and you'll get a free Session layman with this. The next book here is The Secrets of Rejuvenation, Zen Warrior Exercises. This is a lovely book. It's one that I'm very connected to, as it teaches the I Ching, the sinew transformation from the Shaolin Temple. This is a legendary form of spiritual exercise which is designed to regenerate and rejuvenate yourself. I believe it's very effective, and if you have any doubts, be aware that it's actually my 40th birthday coming in the very near future, and you can look at my appearance now and you can assess from that whether or not this has been effective. I actually plan to do more on this particular subject in the future, because I've discovered both the Indian and the ancient Greek equivalents of the exercise. So this is a universal practice which leads to muscular development, but also, more importantly, longevity. Jason Torbett. This is a series of short stories which I produced, which was based on the idea that someone could use enlightenment to solve crimes. And then we see here, this is Shigendo, The Way of the Mountain Monks, a wonderful text written by Soke Koskadaki with some small adjustments and editing by myself, and some small sections describing some of the matters from a Western student's point of view. If you're interested in material effects and abilities from a practice, this is very much the book for you. This is another charity book, one that I produced in order to help the New Masonic Samaritan Fund. It's a sequel to the last one. Now that's the whole of the shop for now, but I hope to offer more products in the near future, which I believe will be of great use to someone following the path of self-development. So there's a link here to my YouTube channel. There we are. And here's the blog, which shows everything I've been writing about of late. So that concludes your tour of my new website. Please visit www.martinfaulks.co.uk, and once you've been there, do leave a comment on the contents and your experience of it. Thank you very much. Until next time, let's let every word, thought and action count.